Today, we're going to show you what happens when animals ask people for help and people find the courage to act. After a fire, this cat was poisoned by carbon monoxide and seemed to have no chance of surviving, but his owner begged rescuers for help. The firefighters refused to give up, and after a long rescue mission, a miracle happened. The cat came back to life. The woman's reaction proves that our pets are more than just animals, they're members of our families. While working on a remote farm, this man heard a cry for help in the distance that he couldn't ignore. A landslide had trapped this distressed dog in the ground with only her head remaining above the soil, but the man would soon come to learn that she wasn't concerned for herself alone. After a while, they heard even more screams for help underneath the sand. They kept digging and found 7 puppies who had been buried alive. Thanks to their quick thinking, the furry family was safe and sound, much to the relief of their worried mother. When this dog mother got stuck in a gate grill, she was initially scared and acted aggressively toward them. But after 9 hours, the poor dog finally accepted that they were trying to help her. After a long rescue mission, they were finally able to set her free. And in a display of true mother's love, she immediately rushed to check on her puppies. When an elephant baby and its mother had fallen into a muddy manhole, a team of volunteers mounted a dynamic rescue using an excavator. The mother then suffered heart failure, but these kind-hearted people were not going to give up and even performed CPR on the elephant. Eventually, the mother was brought back to life, and they both returned to the forest after a miraculous rescue. This turtle got stuck in tree roots on its way to the sea, but luckily, a kind family decided to rescue it and release it back into the ocean where it belongs. After a power line fell onto a flooded road, this cow suffered a horrible trauma. The strong electric current paralyzed the poor animal and it got stuck being electrocuted on the spot. Thankfully, moments later, a store owner spotted the helpless cow and pulled it out of the danger zone with the help of 2 Samaritans. Together, they saved the animal's life just in time. This man saw something disturbing on the side of the road and stopped to take a closer look. As they got closer, they realized that a sugar glider had gotten stuck on the barbed wire and was desperately trying to free itself without success. The kind man stayed behind and helped free it so it could return to its home in the forest.
Go, mate. Go!
After working to extinguish a house fire, these firefighters found an unconscious bulldog that was suffocating. They quickly provided it with compressed oxygen, hoping to bring it back to life. The dog took a deep breath and finally began to breathe actively again. The firefighters gave the dog some water and covered it with a warm blanket. Thanks to their heroic actions, the dog fully recovered after a couple of days and is now back with his family. These 2 entangled swans swam around the river trying to break free from each other without success. That's when a couple stumbled upon them and decided to help. After a while, they finally managed to separate the poor animals who appeared to be unharmed, all thanks to the kind couple who spent a few minutes of their time sparing the lives of 2 helpless creatures. This man saved the life of a poor turtle that had been flipped over by the tide. The turtle took a few seconds to catch its breath before going back into its home. A leopard that had fallen into a deep well is saved by using a creative DIY method. This Italian firefighter becomes emotional after rescuing a small kitten and cries his heart out, proving that he's a true hero with a compassionate heart.
That's it.
Watch how this kangaroo thanks its rescuers by shaking their hand.
Oh, well done. Oh, he's thanking you.
These people found a baby monkey stuck under a sheet of insulation and returned it to its worried mother. The mother thought she had lost her child, but look at the relief on the mother's face when they're reunited. This hungry polar bear asked a man for help after getting its tongue stuck in a tin can, which prevented the poor animal from eating. The man called for help, and after a long rescue mission, they were finally able to remove the tin can and save the polar bear's life. The impact of humanity's waste is destroying the lives of so many beautiful animals in the world, and here is just one of many examples where a sea turtle is tangled in an abandoned fishing line. Fortunately, there are still kind people out there, like these guys who decided to free the poor turtle. After a horrific bushfire in Australia, these people found a baby kangaroo running all around by itself. When they got closer, they realized that the little creature had been severely burnt.
Oh, poor little kangaroo, where's your mummy? Where's your mummy?
They took him to the vet where he was treated for his injuries. Now he will soon be able to hop around the woods again, thanks to these wonderful people. When a horse was left behind without water, these Ukrainian soldiers rescued the poor animal by setting it free and giving it a drink. And what about these kind people who give water to thirsty? After 7 orcas ran aground on the coast in Argentina, it seemed they were doomed to die within minutes. But these heroes and local residents intervened in fate to come to the rescue. They all started digging around the enormous creatures, creating a path and pushing them back into the ocean where they belong. A beautiful display of what we humans can achieve when we work together to make the world a better place. This family was approached by a baby fox with a jar stuck on its head, desperately seeking help. After a while, they were finally able to remove it and save the poor animal. After this dog fell off the street, he found himself trapped very close to a river with deadly strong currents. Luckily, his friend refused to leave him behind and stayed close by until help arrived. At first, the frightened dog was wary, but the rescuer took his time to gain his trust until he was able to bring him to safety. While trying to run away from home, this cat was trapped with its neck in the iron entrance. The pet had been stuck there for several hours before it was found and was facing breathing problems, causing its tongue to turn black. Luckily, these people found it before it was too late and managed to rescue the poor animal. And here is yet another poor animal with a jar stuck on its head. The distressed dog approached these kind people who helped it get free and saved its life. During a heat wave, it's the stray animals that suffer the most, so this kind man decided to help a stray dog by giving it a quick cold shower to cool off. This poor dog had somehow gone out the window and gotten stuck on a small surface below. The dog couldn't jump either back or down, as it would otherwise have injured itself very seriously. But take a look at what these amazing people are doing. Several random people got together to try and save the dog's life, following the dog with a tarp beneath him in case he falls as he walks across the plank. That is what humanity should be all about, helping others at times when they need it the most. These wildlife workers were called out to find a fox cub stuck in a fence, but when rescuers arrived, it turned out to be something very different. They rushed the cub back to the center, where vet nurses had their work cut out for them trying to get the little fox free. Amazingly, the fox was freed without the need to cut through the wheel, and after a brief recovery time, it was finally returned to the wild. In this heartwarming video, you will see how motherhood helps an elephant surpass the barrier of language. She was spotted by a group of people wandering around and trying to gain their attention. Naturally, the people were scared and reported it to the authorities, who tried driving her away with firecrackers. However, she did not budge and persisted, trying to gain their attention. Eventually, they decided to follow her, and it turns out she guided them to a pit where her baby was stuck. The people dug a path to free the baby elephant and save its life, all thanks to its brave mother who never gave up hope. Write in the comments which of these clips was your favorite. In the meantime, remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.